if the Republicans, if this group really believes that this law is going to bankrupt the country, if they really believe what they're saying, that this is going to bankrupt the country, that this is an overreach of government and it's unconstitutional even though the Supreme Court said it is, then shouldn't we maybe give them a little credit for standing up for what they believe in? And I'm totally playing devil's advocate because it's obviously not what I believe. But if that's what they believe, do they deserve any credit for that?
No, I mean, because I mean, if you go into it, you have to follow. You're a product of the environment. You're a politician. You know how this whole thing works. There's plenty of things that we don't like. I think President Obama came up with this analogy. He said, we want background checks for guns. We've been fighting for it. We still haven't gotten it. Mm-hmm. There's still a lot of Americans who are hell-bent on shooting each other for no reason. Yeah. And actually people who don't need to have these guns in their hands to continue to shoot other people. Now he said, should I, because this isn't what I want for in our government and our laws, now hold up things that are actually responsible and are necessary for us to do to get this other part of the law that I want, because there's a segment of the population that is dying for it, or not dying for it, when others are dying.
Yeah. Literally dying. Yeah. Kids are going to cancer patients now can't get in. Yeah. They're not letting them in anymore. They lock the door. And there's a certain kind of Dexter missing chromosome kind of human that's okay with that. Yeah. And there's a bunch of them. Yeah. But, and the last thing they want is that part exposed. Oops. Yeah. That part's out now. So I think the walls are closing in on that kind of person, because it was a party set up for a kind of person. Mm-hmm. The kind of person that knows that whatever kind of mean crap is going on inside me, I don't have to change a thing. I got a welcoming carpet for the one place that's, you're the guy we're looking for. Do you think that's just like you? Do you think that's based on understanding of what's going on, or do you think it's because we're pulling on heartstrings? Because that's all politicians ever do. Which is why we had stuff like the National Zoo tweeted, "Oh, well, we can't have the panda cam anymore."
People are freaking out about the pandas. These kids can't get cancer treatment, literally, and the panda cam, holy cow, that's leading the news. All right, so final thought on this. This is proof to me more than anything else that I hate to be that guy, but we need a third party in this country. We need somebody between, these nut jobs on the right, and then they keep dragging the left more to the center. I mean, it just seems crazy. But is there any chance? Is there any chance for it?
Remember where the compass is. Remember where the compass needle ought to go, because that gets moved wherever someone with the most amount of power could put the middle way over to the right. And you've got this little sliver left on the end of the bathroom counter, and she took it over with makeup, and that's the middle. Yeah. And the remembering it's about others. And so they're trying to get into everyone's head, forget about others, you're on your own. And that kind of thinking, I think, is up for review across the board, because they made a mistake. They started screwing a lot of them too. And they're waking up. That was like, they didn't do everything in the right order. Right. And their own believers are really in deep denial, but they're starting to question, once you take my supplies away. And they're taking their supplies away too.
Doesn't it have to change the makeup of Americans for us to do that, though? Because Americans we're so competitive. Of course, our first thing you always hear is, we're number one, we're the best this, we're the most exceptional, all these things. So then that's to our macro. But then within our own country, we have our sports teams, we have our collegiate teams, we have our schools we went to just for pride themselves. So now everything we have is factions that were broken down. So everything is a competition. So how many people, enough to garner this third party, are going to default from the Republican Party, default from the Democratic Party, and say, I'm no longer with those loyal to the teams I've been loyal to for my entire life. My grandfather was a Democrat, all that stuff. How do we do that on a large enough scale is the hard question.
Well, I think that's a perfect finish on that. And to that point, for all these people on the right that think America is so great and America can be a great country, well, then maybe giving health care to everybody will actually work if we're as great as we keep saying we are. Hey guys, the Rubin Report is brought to you by Coupaw.com. They've got 75% off dog and cat chews, toys, accessories, home goods, and more. Use code RR for 20% off your next purchase. The link is right down there.